Most men spend their entire lives chasing the wrong formula for attraction. They think if they can just earn enough money, look good enough, or be charming enough, they'll finally win her over. But here's the truth that no one talks about, and it's going to change how you see everything. Attraction doesn't start with your wallet. It doesn't even start with your looks. It starts in the shadows, where most never dare to look. In the realm of hidden psychological triggers. Triggers that women themselves may not consciously understand, but they feel them. Deeply, instinctively, just like men, women have subconscious desires, emotional vulnerabilities, and patterned responses they often can't explain. And the harsh reality? Most men walk through life completely blind to them. They don't see these subtle cues. They don't recognize the signals. And they definitely don't know how to respond to them in a way that builds real, lasting attraction. But once you do, once you understand these hidden weaknesses, you'll no longer feel like you're guessing in the dark. You'll begin to notice things most men overlook. You'll stop trying to impress and start learning how to connect. And that's what today is all about, that we're going deep into 10 hidden female weaknesses that, when understood, will permanently shift how you engage with women. These aren't pickup lines or manipulation tactics. These are psychological truths rooted in behavior, biology, and emotion. They work not because you're playing games, but because you're finally playing by the rules most never learned. So let's begin with the first one. And it might surprise you. Point 1. The power of emotional certainty. Let's get something straight. Just because women are emotional beings doesn't mean they're irrational or unstable. It simply means emotions play a central role in how they interpret and navigate the world, especially in relationships. And one of their most powerful hidden weaknesses? Their deep, almost primal need for emotional certainty. She doesn't just want love or chemistry. She wants to feel emotionally safe, to feel grounded. She wants to know, without a doubt, that you're not going to disappear the moment things get difficult. That when life tests her, or you remain steady. Because here's what happens if you don't. If you're emotionally volatile, reactive, or dependent on her mood for your stability, she begins to lose trust. Not necessarily in you, but in the space you're both trying to create together. And once that trust is shaken, attraction fades fast. You may have seen this dynamic before. The man who panics when she's upset, who argues when things go wrong, who leans on her too much emotionally. What does that do? It reverses the roles. She becomes the stabilizer, and you, the one who's supposed to be her rock, turns into the one needing saving. That kills attraction rapidly. Instead, you must become emotionally unshakable. You must embody stoic confidence, the kind that doesn't get rattled when the storm comes. When she's angry, you remain calm. When life throws chaos, you remain centered. When plans fall apart, you don't spiral. You adapt. Quietly, decisively. This doesn't mean being cold or detached. It means being in control of yourself, your emotions, your energy. And when you do that, you offer her something no charm or money ever could, a safe haven. Whether she realizes it or not, women are drawn to this energy. The man who doesn't need to dominate the room with noise. The man who doesn't need to shout to be heard. He's grounded, solid, and that makes him irresistibly attractive. Point 2. Women are drawn to what they can't have. There's a universal law of human nature. We desire what's rare: diamonds, limited edition sneakers, exclusive memberships. Why do people go crazy for them? Scarcity, the belief that not everyone can have it. And yes, This applies to relationships. Point one of the most hidden psychological weaknesses in women is their attraction to what's just out of reach. It's not that they want games. It's not manipulation. It's biology. The moment something feels too easily acquired, the subconscious mind starts to devalue it. So here's where most men mess up. They show too much, too fast. They text constantly, always available, always eager. And while that feels romantic, it's actually counterproductive. Why? Because certainty kills curiosity, and curiosity is the spark behind most female desire. On the other hand, the man who maintains a slight distance, not emotionally unavailable, but not constantly present, creates a subtle chase, a quiet mystery, a space where desire can grow. The woman begins to think, when will I see him again? What is he up to? Why do I feel this way around him? And that's the point, that if you reveal everything at once, there's no discovery. And discovery is where connection becomes obsession. So what should you do? Don't always be available. Let her miss you. Don't drop your life for her. Keep your schedule. Keep your mission. Don't explain everything about yourself up front. Let her earn those details. That a man who offers consistent presence, but also maintains a touch of mystery, that's the man she'll keep thinking about long after the conversation ends. And now, we move forward into more hidden truths. Because these first two are just the surface. What's next will challenge the way you see confidence, vulnerability, and even rejection itself. Let's keep going. Let's continue where we left off. The chase doesn't end when she feels she's won you. It ends when she no longer wonders about you. Keep even a small part of yourself just out of reach, and her curiosity will keep the fire alive. Which brings us to the next point. 3. The unspoken influence of deep voice and presence among the many underrated psychological triggers for attraction. One stands out for how quietly powerful it is: a deep, controlled voice and a commanding presence. This isn't just anecdotal. It's backed by science. Studies repeatedly show that men with deeper voices are consistently rated as more dominant, more confident, and, yes, more attractive. But why? It's not about sound alone. It's about what it signals. That a deep voice hints at high testosterone levels and strong leadership capabilities, both of which are deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. Women are wired to respond to these traits, even if they aren't consciously aware of it. But let's take it one step further, that it's not just about the voice, it's about presence. That almost magnetic field some men seem to carry with them, without saying a word. Women are weak for men who walk into a room and immediately command attention, not with volume, but with intention. Presence is what you radiate before you ever open your mouth. It's in how you stand, how you move, how you engage with the world around you. A man with true presence doesn't fidget. He doesn't rush. He walks with quiet purpose, holds eye contact without flinching, and speaks slowly, as if every word is worth hearing. On the flip side, weak presence reveals itself in subtle, often unnoticed ways. Slouched shoulders, nervous tics, a wavering voice. All of these send the same unconscious signal: lack of confidence. Even if the man himself doesn't realize it, others will. So, if you want to truly captivate women without uttering a single pickup line, master your presence first. Build that inner stillness, that gravity. The stronger your internal energy, the more effortlessly women will be drawn to you. Point 4. Women can't resist a man who walks away. Want to tap into one of a woman's most intense emotional triggers? Walk away. Walk away like you don't need her. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But it's basic psychology. We all value what we might lose. Most men do the opposite. The moment they sense distance from a woman, they chase. They panic. They over-explain, beg, try to fix everything. But all that does is scream one thing: I need you more than you need me. And the moment she senses that imbalance, the attraction starts to evaporate. The man who can walk away calmly, with zero desperation, sends a message louder than words. I am not dependent on your approval. I have options. I am whole, with or. Without you, this mindset, it drives women wild. Not because it's a game, but because it radiates confidence and self-respect. She knows you won't tolerate being played with. She knows if she disrespects you, you won't argue, you'll leave. That alone increases your value in her eyes. Remember this simple rule: the man who is willing to walk away is the man who rarely has to point five. A man with a mission is her kryptonite. Let's bust a myth. A woman's biggest weakness is not your abs, your money, or your charm. This is where many men stumble. They think that being emotionally expressive means spilling every fear, every insecurity, every wound. But true connection doesn't come from emotional dumping. It comes from emotional mastery. Women are drawn to men who understand this paradox, who are open, but only in a way that reinforces their strength, not undermines it. Yes, women want emotional connection, but they're repelled by emotional instability. They want to see that you have a heart, not that you're falling apart. So, how do you strike this balance? You acknowledge your emotions, but you don't become controlled by them. You speak about your struggles, but only after you've risen above them. You share personal stories, but not all at once. A steady drip of your inner world, revealed over time, keeps her engaged. Think of your emotions like a deep ocean, calm on the surface, powerful underneath. She can sense that depth, but it doesn't overwhelm her. It doesn't demand her to. Fix you. A man who dumps his problems early, constantly seeks reassurance, or emotionally leans on her too much. He becomes a burden, and that burden suffocates attraction. But a man who opens up selectively, on his terms, creates something different entirely. He lets her feel special, trusted, chosen, not because he needs her to carry him, but because he's strong enough to share without collapsing. This is what makes you irresistible: emotional strength cloaked in honest vulnerability. Show her just enough to make her lean in, not run away. Point 7. Women are programmed to test your strength. Most men have no idea they're being tested by women on a regular basis. These tests aren't obvious. They're subtle, but they're very real. A woman may challenge your opinion, not because she disagrees, but because she wants to see if you'll hold your ground. She might create a little friction, pick a fight, act distant, not because she's difficult, but because she wants to see if you're reactive, insecure, easily rattled. It's instinctual. It's not personal. It's how she filters out the weak from the strong. That if she sees you lose control at the first sign of emotional turbulence, she knows you can't hold the frame. And when the frame breaks, attraction dies. So what's the key? Never respond emotionally to a woman's test. Stay calm. Smile. Breathe. If she challenges your opinion, respond with calm certainty, not defensiveness. If she pulls away, don't chase. Let her come back on her own. A man who passes these tests becomes the man she respects. And respect is the gateway to deep, lasting attraction. Here's the twist: if she's testing you, it means she's interested. But if you fail, she won't give you a second chance. Point 8. Confidence in the face of rejection is irresistible. Rejection terrifies most men. It paralyzes them. but not the strong ones. The confident man embraces rejection, not because he likes it, but because he doesn't fear it. He knows who he is. He knows what he offers. And if she can't see it, that's her loss. When a woman turns him down, he doesn't spiral. He smiles. He says, "No worries, your loss." And he walks away without a flinch. Why does this work? Because it shows unshakable self-worth. It says, "I don't need your approval to validate my value." And that mindset, it flips the dynamic. Suddenly, she's wondering, why isn't he crushed? Who is this guy? Desperate men crumble under rejection. Confident men remain steady. They know one woman's no doesn't define them. The truth is, rejection only hurts when your identity is tied to being accepted. When you detach your self-esteem from her approval, you become untouchable. And untouchable men, those who walk away with a grin, are the ones women remembered. The next time you face rejection, don't react. Don't argue. Don't sulk. Just smile. Nod. Walk away. That's not weakness. That's power. And now we're just getting into the final layers. Because what comes next will challenge everything you thought you knew about attraction, mystery, and control. Let's move deeper. Because once you've mastered rejection, you start to master your energy. And when you own your energy, mystery becomes your greatest ally. Point 9. Women obsess over men who are hard to read. If a woman knows exactly how you feel all the time, if she can predict your every word, your every move, the mystery fades. And when mystery fades, so does desire. Women are naturally drawn to curiosity, to the unknown, to the subtle chase. This doesn't mean playing games or being deceptive. It means maintaining a level of unpredictability that keeps her imagination engaged. Signs of a man who's too easy to read: he replies instantly to every message. He's overly expressive about his feelings too soon. He constantly seeks reassurance, always checking if things are okay. While that may seem like honesty or romantic effort, it actually does the opposite. It removes the tension. It erases the chase. The high-value man, on the other hand, isn't an open book. He doesn't reveal everything in one sitting. He's deliberate in his communication, pacing his responses, sharing only what feels right, not what's expected. He moves with calm confidence, and that air of unpredictability fuels her imagination. She starts wondering, thinking, dreaming. And that mental loop is where attraction deepens. Because let's be honest, when you always know what's coming, do you lean forward or lean back? If you want to keep her invested, give her room to wonder. Don't let her solve you in one chapter. Let her discover you page by page. Point 10. A man who controls his desires controls everything. This is the final and perhaps most powerful truth. The ultimate weakness women have is this: they can't resist a man who's in control of himself. Most men are ruled by desire. They chase women. They crave attention. They seek validation and allow lust to drive their behavior. But true strength lies in restraint, in being able to say no, in knowing what you want and what you won't settle for. Women are irresistibly drawn to men who don't chase blindly, men who choose wisely, men who are not desperate for attention or intimacy. These men have standards, discipline, boundaries. They don't let pleasure override purpose. They know that desire is powerful, but when unchecked, it makes you a slave. The moment you stop chasing is the moment women start noticing. Because that shift in energy is magnetic. A man who can walk away, who can say no, who places his mission above his urges, that man exudes rare strength. And rare strength attracts. In silence, attraction isn't about gimmicks. It's not about trying harder. It's about understanding psychology and mastering yourself. Because when you embody strength, purpose, and self-respect, you don't just become wanted. You become needed, and the best part? You don't have to chase anything. If you found value in this, consider subscribing to Stoic Havenway, where wisdom meets real-world power. Every video is crafted to help you master not just attraction, but life itself. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, never chase, just lead.